First, an explanation of what the prison is, where it is, and how to access it. It is, shockingly, a prison where the foulest, most dangerous creatures and criminals in Prythian are kept. The prison is situated in a cavernous mountain on an island off the shore of the Night Court. The island is freezing, deserted, and barren. There is sharp grassy slope leading to the entrance and brutal cliffs that drop to a violent sea beneath. The mountain itself is wide and flat-topped. There's a lot of mist all around this island, which makes it a thin place in the universe because remember, we know people can travel between worlds, like what Amren did and the Bone Carver and the Weaver, and actually quite a few of these creatures that are now in the prison too. There are very strong wards surrounding the prison that keeps anyone from winnowing inside or flying straight to the entrance. This means that visitors, even Reese, has to walk in the long way. The High Lord of the Night Court is the only one who has the key to the prison because it requires their blood to unlock. So their blood is literally the key. With a drop of the High Lord of the Night Court's blood, this entrance stone vanishes into a ripple of light to reveal pale, carved gates of bone that are so high their tops are lost to the surrounding mist. Once inside, the cavern is so dark. So, how does the prison work? The prison is law unto itself. While it falls in the jurisdiction of the Night Court, it's not technically part of the Night Court like Valaris or the Illyrian Mountains. It is assumed that only the High Lord of the Night Court can sentence monsters here, but his commanders can carry out the sentencing like Cassian does for Reese. Once someone is sentenced to the prison and passes through those gates, they belong to the prison. No one can free a prisoner, not even the High Lord of the Night Court. The only known person to escape the prison is Amren, who found a loophole in the spell binding her here and trapped herself in a new body to free herself. The guards dwell within the rock of the mountain. They only emerge at feeding time or to deal with restless prisoners. Reese describes them as nothing but shadows of thought and an ancient spell. If you look at the gray walls within the prison, it almost looks like those jagged bits could be a nose or a craggy brow or a set of sneering lips. That's so creepy. The prison is absolutely silent. Well, until it's not, as we see in Silver Flames. A few other fun facts about the prison. The harp has been hidden beneath the prison for ages. We don't know how long, but a very long time. Since Moore's family used to rule the Night Court a long time ago, the prison also used to be under their jurisdiction. We know very little about the inmates in the prison. There is the Bone Carver, of course, and like I mentioned, Amren had also been there for several millennia until she escaped. We are also familiar with Lanthus, who is another one of the true immortals trapped in the prison. He cannot be killed, only contained. Cassian tricked him by trapping him in an ash mirror and put him in the prison 200 years ago, until Nesta and Ataraxia get their hands on him and find out he is indeed killable. But we are not there yet, folks. That concludes part 1 of today's Surreal Tea Time. Like I promised, let's kick it off with the Surreal Tea Time part 2 about the prison. If you don't mind learning about some ACOTAR related lore that is told in House of Flame and Shadow, please continue. There are no plot spoilers here for House of Flame and Shadow, just lots of lore information as it specifically relates to the ACOTAR world. I know, it's confusing. The prison used to be a royal territory. Queen Thea claimed this island for herself after they defeated the Daglin. It is a naturally defensive location because the mists keep it veiled from the others. And hey, this was indeed the 8th court, the Dusk Court. We get that confirmation. But it was before the courts were divided up and ruled by the High Lords. The island had a soul that blossomed under Queen Thea's care, nurtured by the Dusk Court she built there. But then Thea and her people left to Midgard, and when Selene returned, their home, the island, the Dusk Court, had been left empty since they vanished. The other Fae of Prythian thought it was cursed after the Dusk Fae left, so Selene made it truly cursed. She damned it all, so only the dungeons remained far beneath the mountain. She started hunting the monsters, the remaining pets of the Daglin, until her once beautiful home became a prison. Quote, until even the lands were disgusted by the evil she'd gathered, that the islands shriveled and the earth became barren. I have to wonder if she personally put Amren in the prison. Although the timeline, it doesn't quite line up because Amren entered the prison before High King Theon and his queen Thea ruled, and the prison didn't actually exist until after he was long gone. But we're just going to keep moving past that here. Selene went on to wed the heir to the High Lord of the Night Court, and once he inherited the title and they had their first son, she brought him to the prison and keyed the wards into his blood. She told him the secret of the records she left for him so that he would know about the buried weapon needed against the Daglin that was located beneath the prison. That secret weapon is indeed the harp, but the secret was supposed to be passed down in the generations of the High Lords of the Night Court. But hey, it didn't happen, and somehow along the way, this information got lost and forgotten. This here is the reason Rhys's family has the blood key to the prison. It's because they are ancestors of Selene, who specifically made their blood the key to the prison, where the secret information would be held secret. I'm not entirely sure how Mora's family ruling the Night Court ties into this timeline, since she does not possess the same attributes or appearance as Selene and Rhys, but they are related, so another thing we're not going to touch on here right now. And that, my friends, is the full story about the prison.